You can't put me outside with a skin picking disorder and tweezers in the sunshine. It's a catastrophe. Hey guys, so today we are going to do a get ready with me here. It is a overcast day. It's not super bright and sunshiny, but that's probably better for filming, honestly. We are out on this little hardscaped area that Zach and I made last year. Well, he mostly made it. I was hugely pregnant at the time, so I couldn't lift these stones, but we have like this little flagstone patio where we have like a little potted flower garden and everything, and that's it. We're just hanging out here, and I wanted to get ready and not do like a first impression or anything like that. Actually, honestly, I'm going to be using a lot of the products that I did in my last first impression video, which if you didn't see that, I'm going to link it up here. And I've tried out a bunch of stuff from LYS, tested out the little melt stack. It was a really good one. So if you guys didn't see that, you might want to watch it if you're really interested in seeing like what I think about some new products, because I found some good stuff in that video, like really, really good. And so that's the stuff that I'm going to be using today. And that's pretty much it. I'm just going to be getting ready, chatting with you guys and hanging out. We haven't done like a chit chat get ready in a while. I feel like everything I've done has been like either first impression, a tutorial, testing someone else's makeup. So let's just hang out and chat. So I'm gonna go in with the LYS foundation. This is the shade MN3, and this is the Triple Fix Serum Foundation. And I totally forgot to put on moisturizer this morning, so hopefully all of this stuff works out, because I can't be bothered to run upstairs. I love the fact that I can film now outside. When we lived at the other house, you literally couldn't. I tried multiple times. In fact, I did film a video sitting in my backyard, and I was filming like a get ready with me in my garden, which as soon as we have a garden here, you know I'm gonna be doing another one of those, because you guys, this garden's gonna be so good. We had some contractors over here yesterday, the same ones that worked on our remodel. We're having them like map out where we're gonna have the greenhouse and everything, and it's just gonna be so good. I'm so excited. It's so nice to be able to film outside now, because I'm telling you, I couldn't do it at the other house. So much car traffic, but not only that, people would yell at you when you're outside. I mentioned this in one of my last videos, but it's like common, you know, people don't just let you live. They gotta say something. My husband just texted me, did you bring the trash back to our house, or did someone take our trash can from the driveway? Someone stole our trash can. This is not the first incident that we've had here. I don't know what's going on, but there is a mail thief around here, stealing people's entire mailboxes, stealing people's mail. When we first moved into this house, our gas cans got stolen and our generator got stolen, and someone actually broke into our house to steal it. We live in the middle of nowhere. It's just wild. It doesn't really matter where you live. We thought we would escape that moving out here, and nope, the answer is no. We've noticed that there's tons of activity, especially like when you talk to your neighbors. It's just like, people are bold, and there's nothing you can even do either, because when you do like call the police and you're like, hey, yeah, we were robbed, they're like, okay, yeah, we'll let you know when we've, you know, handle all the real crime. They don't do anything, you know, like there's really nothing they can do. Like, what are they going to do? Fingerprint it? Like, you know, so it sucks because it's people just getting away with things. We have security on our house. Nobody's been up to our house or done anything up at our house. Well, since the first incidents, but still, you know, you got to be careful. It's like crazy. You would think living in the city, I mean, we definitely had more incidents over there. Like, I don't know if you guys remember, did I ever talk to you about it? I'm sure I did. That package thief on my porch. I was home. I got a notification on our security camera, and it said somebody was at your front door. So I looked, and there was somebody running off with my package, and I was like, what the heck? So I ran outside. My first instinct was to run outside, and I ran over to his car, and I was like, what are you doing? And he started telling me like, oh, I work for my dad's business, blah, 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 blah. I work for my dad's company, and he is a delivery guy. And I said, well, that doesn't make any sense. Why are you running away with my package then? Why aren't you delivering it? He's like, well, I didn't think somebody was home. And so I looked on my Ring cam, like I pulled up the footage as I'm sitting there at this guy's car, and he's obviously caught off guard because I just like ran over to his car. I pull up the Ring cam footage as I'm sitting there talking to him, and I'm like, you're lying to me. And I like flip it around. I'm like, the package was on my porch. You ran up and grabbed it and ran off. And I walked behind his car and took a picture of his license plate as we were talking. And then he sped off, and I called the police, obviously. We were on the police, like Zach was on the phone with the police as I was doing that because it was way too fishy. And then they caught the dude, and they found like 20 packages in his car. This was 2019, around Christmas time. So this asshole was driving around stealing people's packages, and he got arrested. I mean, you can't just be stealing people's packages at Christmas, but like I was home and it was midday. What an absolute idiot. But that's what I'm saying. Like, people are freaking bold, dude. Miss me with coming up into the middle of the woods up onto somebody's property. You don't know who they are. You don't know who's home, and stealing shit. Like, These people are stealing mail too, like entire mailboxes, and there's notices around the neighborhood of being like, hey, everybody look out because we have a mail thief on our hands. Okay, so this is way TMI and none of you guys are going to care, really. It's gross and I'm sorry, so just be forewarned, it's a skin thing. But you're fine. If you saw any of my microscope videos, you're fine. This morning, I noticed I had like a spot right here on my face and it was like protruding and I was like, oh, it looks like some kind of under the skin something or other. So I picked it and like I got this huge hard, I don't know, it's not a blackhead, but it was like that, but it wasn't black. And I got it out of my skin and now I have like this, there's like an actual like hole in my face now. Fuck, I hope it goes down. It looks really gnarly. It's like bothering me. And there's one on my nose too and I didn't even pick that. That one just, I don't know. Anyway, just want you to know if you see that, that's what that is and it's bothering me as much as it might be bothering you. But I think I'm far enough away, you guys probably can't see it. I was also picking at the under of my eye right here and so there's like a huge swollen spot right here. I'm picking at my skin really bad, I don't want to talk about it. But I had a milia, like a little milia spot underneath my eye and I could see it so clearly when I was looking in the mirror, so I just went to pick at it, and you're not supposed to do that, and now the under of my eye is all swollen, so my little baby just turned 6 months old. You guys, where has the time gone? How is my baby 6 months old already? But at the same time, it feels like I've had him for 5 years. It's the weirdest thing. Time is like the most bizarre thing because I feel like when I think about 6 months ago and I see him as this tiny little scrawny infant, I'm like, that was a lifetime ago. And it was 6 months ago. But at the same time, I'm like, how has 6 months already elapsed? It feels like it's been 5 days. It's weird. Time is the most bizarre thing. But he is 6 months old. He just turned that on the 1st. And yesterday we introduced solids for the first time just to see how he liked it. And honestly, he didn't. He hated it. We gave him some carrots. I like steamed them and then mashed them up with a little bit of breast milk. He acted like we were feeding him poison. He was like, he hated it so much. So we think we might try baby-led weaning. We're not sure. We need to do more research into it, but I think so. Everybody says it's really, really great, and I'm obviously going to do all the research, make sure I'm doing it completely safely. I am a freak about that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, we're thinking we're going to try it because he really loves gnawing on stuff. He loves chewing on things, and it seemed like it was the texture that bothered him more than anything. Just that smushy puree texture. It just seemed like he was like, what the fuck is this? A lot of people are like, you don't have to introduce solids just because they hit a certain milestone. But yeah, no, he's reached all the milestones. He's literally watching us now as we eat. That was the main reason I waited until he was like showing interest in food. I didn't want to just give him food because like, oh, he's a certain age, well, give food. But everything we put in our mouths, he's like watching and kind of imitating it and reaching for it, and then I feel really guilty because we're eating right in front of him. So that's why we, you know, wanted to start introducing foods. And trust me, I had a moment, I was crying so hard because we are still breastfeeding, and it just made me feel so sad that like the end of, I'm not stopping breastfeeding, FYI. When I said this on Instagram stories, people were like, you don't have to stop. No, we are not. But it's like he's never had anything but breast milk, you know, and so it made me feel sad that other things are going to be giving him nutrition now, and it's not just me. But you know what? Seeing him eat the solids made me realize he ain't taking in much. He hardly got anything at the end of the day, you know? I mean, he just, most of it came out. But I've been doing this thing since he was 8 weeks old. I didn't start it when he was born, and I wish I would have, but you know, hindsight's 2020. I was so busy and I couldn't even imagine adding one more thing onto my plate. But at 8 weeks old, I started doing this thing where I would write his milestones that he would reach each week in a like little note on my phone, so that from now, I think he's like 30 weeks or 20. I have no idea what week we're on right now. I'd have to look in my phone, but I've kept up on it. And that's really something that I'm really proud of, because I knew that if I did something like difficult where I had to like pull out his baby book and write it every single day, I wasn't gonna do it. But I can write these things in his baby book at any point, you know? And it just makes me feel really happy that I've kept up on something like this, so that I can look back and be like, this was one of your hardest weeks. Oh, here's what we were doing. We were transferring from the SNU. Oh, we were doing all this stuff. And so I can look back and see all the milestones that we reached and when, you know, and that is really fun for me to be able to look back on. You think you'll remember, you'll be like, oh, I'll definitely remember that. And then sometimes a week goes by and you've already forgotten. So it is one of those things that's way too much blush. It's okay, we'll tone it down. This is the LYS Higher Standard Satin Matte Cream Blush in Inspire. And I used this one last time and went blush heavy, but today is looking crazy. highlighter will tone this down. And if not, I'll just throw a little bit of foundation over the top and we'll be good to go. We also transitioned from the snoo. It was totally unexpected. I was gonna do it really gradually and use the weaning setting on the snoo, and he decided, no, I'm gonna choose the time frame on this one. He started flipping over in the snoo, and it was like he's been able to roll but never tried to do it in the snoo. And then one day, every time he would wake up, he would start immediately flipping, and then it would shut off, because if the clips deactivate on it, then it shuts off just for safety reasons. And so it kept alerting me like snoo is off, and I'm like, oh god, he's getting loose. So it was totally unexpected, but had to be done. And he's transitioned to the crib okay, not as great as I would hope. I mean, he's fine, but it's a process, you know, but things are okay. Like, he's not taking to it nearly as poorly as I thought. I thought he would need the motion forever, and that's one of the big questions that people ask, like, okay, well, if they're in the snoo, don't they need motion forever? No, he can totally sleep laying flat. Like, he actually sleeps almost better, and weirdly, his naps have extended since I stopped. Like, he was only ever, in my entire time of having him, he only sleeps half hour at a time, ever, in the daytime. And over the last 2 weeks, he's had at least 4 or 5 days where he's slept over an hour for one nap, sometimes almost 2 hours, which is shocking. Like, I don't even know what to do with myself. Oh my god, it's Hummingbird. It's literally like 1 foot from my face. Oh my god. I know not all of you guys are interested in baby stuff, so I won't keep harping on and on about it, but his little personality is out, and he is just a freaking joy to be around. He was one of those babies that just seemed kind of unhappy with life in the first like 4.5 months. He was really he just seemed like fussy. Everything pissed him off. It just almost seemed like he was always uncomfortable, and it didn't seem like it was a gassy thing. I mean, I cut out dairy for months and months and months, and that didn't seem to make a difference. And I don't know, all I can say is that something happened when he reached like 4.5 months where it was like he just kind of chilled out, and now he's just an absolute joy to be around. He is happy and funny and smiley and giggly, and it's just something shifted in him, and he's just like, he's happy. I'm gonna knock on wood as I'm saying this, but yeah, I mean, he just seems overall like really, you know, there are bad days and good days. You can't make any absolute, you know, comments about anything as a parent, because one day you'll be like, he's perfect and he sleeps through the night, and then the next week he won't sleep at all ever. But at the same time, like, this has been going on for a while now, where I just feel like generally, unless it's a rough day, he's so wonderful to be around. He can fully sit up on his own now. I mean, he just sits on his little butt playing with his toys. It is the most darling thing in the entire world. I wish I could share him with the internet forever and ever. I wish I felt comfortable with that. I just can't. I can't feel comfortable with it. I've already had people just be so weird in like private messaging and stuff, and like just so demanding, and it's just bizarre. If it were, you know, I always thought that I would be somebody that would like share everything, and it's just, I want to share his cuteness with the world. If you guys could see him, he is the cutest thing I've literally ever seen in my entire life. Ever. We went to the creek with him a couple of days ago and see how he would do, and we were like, okay, we could try putting his feet in the creek and see if he likes it or if he doesn't like it. And Zach was like, be prepared, he might cry. The second we put his feet in the creek, it was like the biggest smile on his face. He was splashing his little feet in there. He was sticking his little tongue out. He was so happy. And we were just, oh my god, it was wonderful, because he's just, the best. I love him. Okay, that's it. I don't have to keep talking about him. I could talk about him for literally hours, but I also know how annoying it is probably to talk about him when I'm not showing him. I will say one thing though. One of the biggest and weirdest realizations as a parent is like, because when you're in it and you have a baby, I don't know if anyone else feels the same way, but it feels sometimes, because I've never had an older child, feels like you're gonna have a baby forever. So the realization that I'm going to have a child that one day can speak back to me and like tell me how he feels, and we can communicate and have conversations with each other, I can't, it's the most mind-blowing thing in my entire life. I can't fathom it, and I know it to be true. I know it's happening. I mean, my niece, you guys have seen her on my YouTube channel. She's 9. She's 9. She's so big, can have full-blown conversations with you. I mean, she's just, it's shocking. And I feel like she was just a baby yesterday, and she's 9 years old, coming up on 10. So that's what it's like. It's just the most crazy, surreal thing in the entire world, and it goes by so fast. Literally, I know how people say that. When you're in it, each day really is, it is an exact, perfect thing to say. The days are long and the years are short, because sometimes the days feel so long that you're like, that was today that we went to, you know, Home Depot, and then it's like 4 p.m. You're like, that feels like 5 days ago, because it was, you know, so early and you haven't slept enough. And sleeping's not so bad right now. Like, I'm totally functioning and fine. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just, it's the most surreal bizarre thing to just, it's just crazy how one day you go from not being a parent to like, now I have a 6-month-old and I feel so like confident and comfortable in my role as a mother. It's not like I'm still getting used to it. I feel like now it's just, I feel like seasoned, and I'm not even seasoned. I've only been doing this for 6 months, but yeah, it's crazy. You see this thing behind me? I don't know how clear it is. I don't think it's clear at all, but it's like a hammock chair hanging from our cherry tree. This is a cherry tree right here. This is the first year, at least, that we've ever seen large cherries. And every other year, like not one singular cherry we can find on it, but we can look up right now and I see a ton of big cherries on it. So I think it's totally gonna produce and do well this year. And that is so exciting to me because cherries are one of my favorite fruits ever. And the fact that it's just right near our house like this, dude, it's so exciting. Back on the subject of food for my baby, you guys can let me know what you think, but I'm gonna do some research on it, and I followed this page Solid Starts on Instagram, but we're thinking we're gonna try baby-led weaning with him because there's something about the purees he just does not seem interested in at all. Like, it just, as soon as he realized the texture of it, he was really like gagging away from it. Not gagging, but just like, just disgusted by it, but he loves grabbing things and chewing on them. So I think we're gonna try baby-led weaning. I don't know. I get really nervous about it, but you know, I just get nervous about the choking aspect of it. That's really the only thing. But I did totally buy a life vac because I am that mom. I am the one that has a life vac nearby. But you know what? I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm keeping that thing on hand. And it comes with a practice mask. If you don't know what a life vac is, it was created by, I can't remember if the guy's a pediatrician or who he is, but I think he saw a grieving mom in the hospital after her child had choked on some kind of food. And so he created this device that like goes over your face like an oxygen mask almost does. And you push down and then plunge out, and it sucks the food out, so it like has a negative pressure, so it doesn't push air in when it goes down, but it sucks air out. And it comes with a practice mask, and Zach and I totally tried it, and yeah, that would totally, some birds fighting behind me, that would totally work. I mean, honestly, it's like, okay, enough. It like takes your breath away when you practice on it. And so we have one of those, and we've also like been looking up like infant CPR and stuff. We're just, you know, you never know. That's like such a big fear, is that like we're out here in the middle of nowhere and then he starts choking on something. So bought a life vac. I've been looking up stuff. I need to do a little bit more research, but I think today when Zach and him are out on a walk right now, we're going to maybe try with a little bit of banana. I got some organic bananas, and I've seen people like you kind of leave the peel on the bottom and then they can hold onto it and kind of just like gum the top of it. So I think we're gonna try a little bit of it today just to see, and I'm kind of excited. I'm excited to see his reaction to banana because it's so different from carrot that we tried yesterday. I'll tell you, I can only speak for myself here, but before I had him, I was very indifferent towards children. Like, I'm just speaking for myself. I'm not saying that this is how you will be if you have children. I'm just saying maybe someone can relate to me in this. But before I had him, I was very indifferent towards kids. Like them, I thought they were cute enough, but when they're not yours, you're just kind of like, no, don't touch me. No, I don't want it. No, that's okay. Where's your mom? That's kind of was me with kids. At least for me, when it comes to him, my own kid, I'm just gonna be like frank with you. I was a little grossed out by other people's kids. Like, just a little like, okay, no, don't touch me. Now with him, like, it is a true situation for me where like he could slobber and has into my mouth, and I'm like, I love you. I just could not be less grossed out by that kid. I just had not. But it's so weird because I could have never seen myself being that person. I always said, like, you like miss me with nasty kid hands. I don't know, maybe when he's a toddler I'll feel differently, but right now he could not be gross to me, ever. He does this thing, I call him a little scusty zombie. He's scusty is like disgusting, but he grabs your face and he does that to your like face, your mouth, and he's trying to like zombie you, like he's trying to eat your face, and it is so darling. I will let him do it all day long. It just not gross me out, but not just the grossness part of kids, which I find that to be the weirdest thing, is that the annoyance. So I remember before I had him, if I would hear a kid screaming like loudly in a grocery store or something, I'd be like, oh, shh, shut that kid up. First of all, my kid, when he screams, it's funny to nobody else, but to me, hilarious. And I mean, he is a baby. I think if he was like a young kid, like throwing a fit, that's a different thing. But right now, oh, hilarious. Like, just so funny. And if you don't think that's funny, well, then you're wrong. I just want to say, like, if you ever are like me, I remember asking a question on Twitter before I had him. I remember saying, okay, so I'm not really a big fan of other people's kids, do you think that that'll change when it's my own? And everyone was like, LOL. Yes. Yes, it will. And I just couldn't picture it. I was like, I don't know, man. I don't think so. For me, at least, oh yeah, kid can do no wrong. And it is just so weird. It's just nature's way of being like, if you don't find your own kid annoying, you're gonna have more of them. It's just so weird how you can change just to, I guess it's like somebody else's slobbery dog coming up to you. It's like how your own dog doesn't stink to you, but when it's someone else's dog, you'd be like, they're just a little greasier, a little bit stinkier. It's kind of like that. I never thought I would be somebody that would like be okay with a slobbery kiss, but I'm not only okay with it, like I welcome it. Give me a kiss. It's not an absolute. It's just interesting how you maybe can't picture it. And like for me, I was like, I don't know, man. I don't think I'll ever be not grossed out by kids. I don't think I'll ever find screaming funny. I don't think I'll ever like not be annoyed at the loud noises, because I'm somebody who likes it. I like quiet. I like a soft, plunky music in the background, and I like my peace. If you couldn't tell, I like peace. And so I was like, kids are anti-peace, you know what I mean? They're just so loud and screamy. It's wonderful and hilarious, and it just adds like such a good feeling, at least for me. I love it so much. And so it's weird. I never thought I would change, but here I am thinking my kid screaming. He sounds like a smoke alarm when he does it, like the loudest high-pitched teapot you've ever heard. And I laugh every single time. I'm never like, oh, stop. I just think it's hilarious. And that is the full face done. I pretty much think I can hear my husband walking back up. So it's kind of perfect timing. It's been so nice to like be back on YouTube and be putting out a lot of content. Sometimes I just want to do like chill videos like this. Honestly, just no rhyme, no reason, not having to, having to try out new products, just, doing my makeup. It's just kind of fun to sit and like chill and not have to be like testing out new things and being like wondering, oh, is this good? And what is my recommendation going to be for people? Like no recommendations, just hanging out with you guys and sitting in nature. And it's so nice. I've got hummingbirds over here fighting. I've got jays fighting behind me over there. And I love it. It's my favorite. If you guys are interested in seeing more, I always mention this, but I have people all the time ask. So if you guys are interested in seeing more of like our yard and stuff like that, we are about to start doing some big time projects out here. And if you're interested in seeing me plant like flower garden or this potted garden we have up here, or this flagstone pathway with like a bunch of Irish moss and stuff. If you want to see our greenhouse go in a few months, and landscaping and just a whole bunch of different things that we're doing to this yard, subscribe to our other channel, which is The Sweet Life of Zach and Kristi. I'm gonna have it linked up here. But I love that channel so much. It has something to my heart and soul. We actually built a catio for our cats. So if you guys are interested in seeing us build like an outdoor space for our cats and you can see them enjoy it, we filmed their like first reactions to being able to go outside but safely. I will link that up here as well if you guys want to watch that video. We really, really had a good time with that, and we still love it. The cats love it. It was such a good choice to build a catio, and we're so glad we did it, and that's up on our other channel, which with a bunch of other stuff too, like we did some trail cam footage, like we put up some trail cams. Hi, Scrooby! How was your walk? It's totally there. So I went on a whole like rant in this video about how people keep stealing our stuff.
People keep stealing our stuff.
So Zach texted me and he was like, somebody stole our trash can. And so I went on this whole rant in this video about how people have stolen our stuff, which is true. There have been a lot of stuff, things going on lately.
For our neighbors and
for our neighbors and for us. So this is not just we were like, oh, so our trash can is next. And then Zach texted me, never mind, it's there. I'm a boomer. Where was it? Just sitting right there?
Yes. It was right in our driveway.
What did you think it was gone? You thought that was their trash can?
I walked right by it, but I was zoning out. Like I was taking stories of like for Sweet Life Instagram, and then I was zoning out, and then I got like all the way down the road, and I'm like, I didn't see our trash can. Those motherfuckers.
And it's just totally there.
And it was there the whole time.
How was your walk, Bubby? Hi, Scrub. How you do? Chunky. I love you. You're smiley. You just chilling in your bob?
Bob chilling too.
Chilling in your mom? Alright, you guys. Well, it was so nice hanging out with you guys and chatting. And I hope my makeup looks good. I haven't even looked to see if it looks good. It looks pretty good. These spots of my face are going to drive me absolutely bananas, and I hate them. But, it is what it is. Alright, well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. It was so nice to get ready outside. It's so peaceful and nice out here. It's just hard on days like this where it's just so beautiful to want to sit inside in front of, like, studio lighting. I know the lighting is so much better inside, but just, like, come on. You can't expect me. These hummingbirds, I never in my life knew that hummingbirds were this like territorial and slightly aggressive. We put up 4 hummingbird feeders and we have to refill them every other day with 8 cups of nectar. We make it ourselves. We don't use the stuff from like the store-bought stuff, and we don't add red dye or anything. They are literally so aggressive that they will fly right up to your face. Like they're yelling at you like, please get the fuck away from me. They're crazy, dude. They're over here just like beating each other's ass all day long. They won't let each other eat from the feeders. They're so aggressive. I never knew hummingbirds were like that. I'm putting them up on the screen. Look at these cool pictures that Zach took of them. He could not have done a better job. They're so gorgeous. It's so crazy too because they are fast as lightning. And I remember when I was working at the wildlife rehab, we got one in and we have to weigh every animal before you give it medication. And hummingbirds, there is no discernible amount of liquid that you can give them. Like if you have to give them medication for some reason, like an antibiotic if they have a cut or something, the answer is it's 1 drop because they're so light in body weight. I remember we got one in and I weighed him and he weighed as much as a penny. That's how light they are. Just hold a penny in your hand and that is a hummingbird. All right, you guys. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys liked today's video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm going to be uploading a lot more. It's been so nice to be uploading more content. It's been really nice connecting with you guys again and do my best to get up as much content as I can. It's not, you know, every single week is going to be the exact same amount of videos or anything, but I'm doing my best to just like when I can work, I am, and it's been really nice. Like I thought for a while there, I was like, I don't know if I can start like doing things again because taking any time away from him was just like agonizing to me. But I actually realized it's really good for us to have a little bit of time apart. It's good for me to have some time to like do something for myself, but not only that, but it gives them time to bond without me. There's a nice balance, I feel, and I didn't think that I would do as well with it. But I mean, we're all home together still, for crying out loud, but it feels good to be putting out things, to be working again, and it just is like such a nice feeling. So I'm so glad to be back to doing it, and thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for being in my comments and talking to me and hanging out with me, and just you guys are so supportive and wonderful. And you know what's really interesting is that having him and coming back to doing YouTube has made me exponentially more appreciative of this job. Just being able to stay home with him. I mean, it's because you guys watch my YouTube channel. It's because you care. It's because you are so supportive and wonderful and kind. And I can't thank you enough for the ability to be able to stay home with my baby. And it's so not lost on me how blessed and lucky I am to be able to stay home with him. And it's because you guys watch my content and you guys are so wonderful. And like, just, I really appreciate you. Something happened to me in the last couple of months where, you know, I think you can sort of almost get used to a job like this as like, oh yeah, this is what I do. And it just feels like, yeah, this is a normal thing. And I had to take a step back and realize that this is such a blessing. And I knew that already, but especially with having my son, something about it just is, I could not be more thankful if I tried. I all day long sit there and I'm just like, thank God for YouTube. Thank God for this job. Thank you guys so much. I know this probably cheesy, but I swear to you, something happened where I every day I look at Zach and I'm like, we are so lucky. I'm so thankful for you guys. And when I read your comments now, they hit different. Something about like when you guys are, you know, leaving your comments, even if it's like, you look pretty today, like you took your time out of your day to type that out and press send to me. That's your time and your energy, and the fact that you are spending that to be kind to me, it's just like, it's not lost on me. And I want you to know that I really appreciate it. And even though I obviously don't have the time in the day to reply to every single comment ever, please know I do read them and I am so appreciative of them. And I thank you so much for interacting with me and for being so kind and wonderful. It is such a blessing to have this job, and I promise you I do not take it lightly. I thank you so much for this, and I just wanted to say that because I just lately have been feeling so grateful for you guys and for this community, and you guys have just been so wonderful. The fact that I was able to take a couple of months off and come back and then you're still here, it's really wonderful. So I'm glad you guys are liking the content as well. I have so many more videos planned to do things like that, to be following other people's looks and tutorials and things. I have a lot of different people you guys have suggested, and I'm so thankful. So thank you guys so much, and I will see you at my next video. Bye! Oh my god, these aren't even on all the way. What the hell's wrong with me? Maybe I'll restart. I did like this. No, it's okay. I'm definitely not doing it with you out here. It's super awkward. You're stalling.
I miss you.
I miss you. I'll come walk with you guys in a sec. Or unless you're done. Get it. Get out of here! It's so awkward. I don't know why it's harder for me to film RawBeautyKristi in front of you instead of Sweet Life. You know, I do my best. It's not